peace. And let me tell you, you do not solve problem by engaging only one side. If you want to solve the problem that is happening, especially on the upsurge of the agitators of Biafra, you need to bring everybody to the table. But of course, you don't want that. You know that we are smarter than Nigeria terrorist Fulanis, and you are scared of what we are going to do with our natural resources. And one thing is that gone are those days that we are looking at your face or looking at you as a United Kingdom, big United Kingdom, and when we mention your name, we are all going to run and hide our head. It's not anymore. This is a civilization. We have embraced it. We have embraced this civilization to the maximum, and you cannot intimidate us with your worship or whatever you are bringing to Biafra land. We are going to put measures, a very strict measures, to make sure that that thing that you are bringing to Biafra with all these trailers will be checkmated. And our Biafra Liberation Army and Intelligence Unit will be taking charge to make sure that nothing enters Biafra land from anywhere in Nigeria. Nothing. No weapon will enter Biafra land. We are going to intercept it. And I want to share one story with Biafra people today. You know when the Chinese warship came to Nigeria? Some of you know that some time ago, the Nigeria, Chinese warship came to Nigeria. Do you know what the warship came to do? Some of you don't know. The warship came with arms and ammunition to supply to Hopu Zodima to fight against Biafra. Nobody, I have not made this public. They came with enough load of weapons. And of course, it is not by the book. It is black market. They came with those weapons, and it was ordered for Hopu Zodima to use to kill Biafrans in Imo State. And you know what happened? Biafra Liberation Army dealt with whoever that was bringing that weapon, and it didn't get to Imo State. I'm telling you that today. The weapon did not get to Imo State, and we watch as the Fulani Janjaweed that was in charge of bringing it to Imo State was lamenting that the Biafra Liberation Army intercepted it and burnt everything to ashes. I want to share that particular news today because I have never shared it with the Biafra people. But today I'm going to share it. And of course, so we are going to be checkmating them. All those trailers coming to Biafra land from tonight, everything will be searched. And once you are stopped, don't stop. You see what will happen to you. We will not allow you to bring any weapon from the British to Biafra land in Enugu. It can never happen. You use this particular visa collection as a cover to bring weapons to fight against Biafra. It is not going to work. We will intercept you on the road, and we'll do to you what we do to the enemies of Biafra.
Apprehension as Russia intelligence exposes U.S. plot to assassinate the Niger leader. African liberation leaders must form a united front against the West now. The greatest enemy of Africa liberation, and by extension Biafra liberation, that I see currently is the United States of America, and the reason is the Biafran gas and BRICS, the BRICS, de-dollarization of the world economy. A popular Igbo adage says, when a crying child keeps pointing at a particular direction, if the father is not there, the mother definitely is there. In a previous article that I published in August 2023, captioned NATO, ECOWAS, Russia face-off, Biafra is the bone of contention. The main reason why Simon Ekpa must be protected. I x-rayed in details the interests of the West, America, Britain, and France in the ongoing brouhaha in Niger Republic. That article exposed the gas pipeline project being planted from Biafra land to the west, but is currently suffering hitches because of the Russian alliance with Niger, which will never allow the pipeline to pass through the country, as it does not protect the economic interest of Russia, whose gas market is currently down due to the Ukrainian proxy war pipeline explosion damages and sanctions. The article further explained how the American gas market has benefited and blossomed as their gains has quadrupled due to Russian losses. That article gave detailed exposition of how the American-supported British/France genocide in Biafra land has been at its peak in the last 2 years as a result of that pipeline project, which is now the key reason for the impending war in Niger. America has thrown all caution into the air by descending so low to rubbish their own institution, the Chicago University, just to fulfill their protection promise to the Nigerian puppet Tinubu. What this means is that the puppet must in turn keep to his own side of the agreement, which is more genocide in Biafra land and also an internationally orchestrated crisis/war in Niger. Why the Biafrans have become so used to the genocide and are war ready to protect our land under the leadership of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, the looming war in Niger may not take the form of a proper war. It is predictably going to involve using all evil means possible, including assassinations of the arrowhead of the Niger-Russian ties, so that their Fulani puppets can take over the government again to allow gas pipeline project to continue. This has always been the style of the capitalist West. That was how they removed Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso. We have not forgotten al-Gaddafi of Libya and General Sani Abacha too. Yes, we know whoever that stands in the way of the West, if their rotten media propaganda fails, their murder weapons, both chemical and biological, doesn't fail. But this time, everything will fail them. The Russian intelligence has just exposed plots by the United States of America to assassinate the Nigerian liberation leader. This calls for one to ponder, what is Americans' interest in Niger? Why the Nigerian liberation leader must be careful of receiving envoys, especially those from northern Nigeria, as anyone can be used as a tool. There is more for us Biafrans to bother about. America is not really interested in Niger per se. America is interested in the gas pipeline project, the Biafra gas. It is already on record that Chevron, an American company, has invested a whopping $13 billion in the gas pipeline project being constructed from Biafra land to the Tivrin and criminal West. This pipeline must cross Niger. Russia had taken America by the storm in the alliance with Niger Republic, freeing them from the colonial grips of France. Niger Republic, who before now earns just a meager 80 cents per kilogram of their uranium, now earns exactly what they should be earning, 200 euros per kilogram. Oh my, Europe truly killed Africa. 200 euro compared to 80 cents. Please, can someone remind me the color of digital slavery again? Yes, 200 euros. That is the international market price per kilogram of uranium, and that is what Niger currently earns. Having tasted a glimpse of real wealth in just 1 month of the liberation coup, how then can the Nigerian liberation leaders succumb to France's slavery ever again? And without succumbing to France, how on earth can the gas pipeline project continue? Hence, there is only one way. Eliminate those in alliance with Russia and bring back the puppets. This is the US specialization. Unfortunately, Russia has decoded them ahead of time in the case of Niger. Our major concern is Biafra gas. Biafra must not break away from Nigeria. US is protecting not only their interest but also British interest in Biafra land too. Britain gets oil and gas. America is in for the gas, and so Biafra must not be free. That is the reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the Great is still incarcerated in the Zoo DSS dungeon for over 2 years. Simon Ekpa has built a war-ready army. Nigeria is already afraid, having a very depleted military force that lack what it takes to confront the Biafran Liberation Army (BLA). America has protected their puppets from being removed, so expect American snipers all over Biafra land soon. Expect America investing heavily into hunting down the leaders of Biafra agitation in order to forcefully keep Nigeria as one useless entity for the West's selfish interest. This remains the reason the safety of Simon Ekpa is paramount in every movement, in every meeting, in every negotiations. Simon must stay wide awake and at least thousands of miles away from those he is dealing with. He must be safety conscious, up to the phone calls he receives and even to the water he drinks in his own house. Thanks goodness for digitization. Simon must limit his meetings to Zoom until he is doubly sure of what is going to come out of those negotiations. On the other side of Biafrans, our prayers must not cease for our dear Prime Minister. Our ears must be open to and for every intel across the globe to determine how it affects our liberation leader and movement. We must not give sleep to our eyes. The West must never succeed this time. It would be better for America to negotiate Biafra freedom and negotiate business with us than this evil path they are towing now, because America will definitely fall flat. The time is not in their favor. The earlier they recognize this, the better for them. Furthermore, the freedom coup liberation leaders in Africa need to join hands with liberators like Simon Ekpa of Biafra and Cho Ayaba of Ambazonia to ward off every antics of the West targeted at subjugating Africa into more slavery at this point in time. These leaders need to work assiduously with the South Africa and Russia to ensure that each and every of them leading the African liberation movement is fully protected from both internal and international predators until the continent becomes fully free. They must never relent. They must form an impenetrable web to ensure that none of these liberators being targeted by the America and the West falls victims to these evil economic colonialists. This is a do or die affair. Africa must be free. Free Africa, free Biafra, free Ambazonia. Written by Nkem Divine Sunshine for Biafra Writers of Conscience, BWOC.
There is no perceived threat in terms of any threat to U.S. troops and no threat of violence on the ground. This is simply a precautionary measure. So what we're doing right now is the department is repositioning some of our personnel and some of our assets from Airbase 101 in Niamey to Airbase 201 in Agadez. But it's simply precautionary. Our force posture hasn't changed in Niger. Our position remains the same, that we hope that the situation on the ground gets resolved diplomatically, but would just reemphasize that there's no immediate threat to U.S. personnel or violence on the ground.